is Hannah, and I've been attending this church for about 6 months now. And I was thinking of how I felt welcomed at this church. I thought it actually is due to a series of events, not just one. The first one is something that's maybe unlikely at a church, and that's folk dance classes. A number of years ago now, I heard about folk dance classes being offered here at this church. And when I heard that the songs would be from different countries and be multicultural, I was very interested. So I started attending, and I met some members of the church, and they were very welcoming no matter how we ended up dancing. And we ended up dancing at a church service here, doing some liturgical dance. And that was my first experience of a service here, and something about it intrigued me. And I appreciated, again, the sort of acceptance that parishioners here had of dances from other countries, and sort of that feel that everyone's important, not just people in your own country. So that was my first experience here. The second experience I had at the United Church of Christ here was Taizé. Taizé is a meditative song, scripture experience that promotes peace and unity around the world. And this church was doing Taizé along with the church I was attending at the time. And so we did it right here in this chapel. We did it at some other churches with members of the UCC here. And again, I felt that sort of welcoming presence, and I realized that anyone, as Taizé teaches, anyone who comes through the doors here would be welcome, and I appreciated that, no matter who you are, and I think that's very Christ-like. The third experience I want to mention is a Bible study that happens here on Friday mornings. Many of the members of the Bible study belong to this church, but not all of them. I was invited to this Bible study by a member of the church after I wrote a short article in 2020 describing how God can be described as a he or a she, as a bird, anything, because God is spirit, and call God whatever you'd like depending on your own comfortableness, your own experience. This person saw this article and invited me to the Bible study, so I came, and there was quite a diverse amount of opinion at the first Bible study, and I liked that people could question things, talk about faith very openly. And so I attended the Bible study I've been attending for a few years. I can't go now because I work Friday mornings, but I appreciate the invite, and again, that example of being able to talk and question and discuss faith in that kind of open way. And it was another experience of me meeting with and kind of running into and bumping into people from the United Church of Christ here, which has been happening over the last years. So this past summer in June, when I was looking for a church to attend in person, it didn't take me long to sort of gravitate here towards the United Church of Christ, since I already knew quite a few people, and I knew the friendliness of them and the idea that everyone's welcome, not just in the pews, but also at communion and at activities, and I knew sort of generally about the social justice teachings that the bigger United Church of Christ supports, and that I would be welcome. So I started coming, and it's hard to describe when you feel like you're very welcomed and you feel like you belong, but that's what I felt. And I've appreciated, since I've been here, I haven't had any pressure to officially join or to follow that I have to have a certain belief to be here, or there's been no pressure to give large amounts of money or anything like that. So it's just been a kind, welcoming presence. I like to read the bulletins at the church I attend. I'm kind of a reader. And an example here. So the United Church of Christ, the national one, does a little reflection on the back of their programs, on the back of their service programs. So when I came, the first Sunday I came, the reflection was about different names for God, and I thought, oh, there's something here, since I had written an article about that, and I was interested in it. The second reflection was about how everyone is welcome, no matter who they are. And the third reflection on my third Sunday here was about something about how you can never turn your backs on the poor, because we are all the poor. We're all part of that population. And so I felt like God was nudging me a little bit with these backs of the programs, the readings, which I'm not sure everyone's reading, but I certainly was. There's a song that I was introduced to, the No Matter Who You Are song, that I understand is kind of a United Church of Christ song that I think kind of encapsulates in a simple way the welcoming presence of the church here. So the programs, I was like, whoa, maybe I will keep attending here. One thing I've learned as I've been exploring different churches over these past years, is that no church is perfect. The church here is kind of small, and I'm sure there's turmoil behind the scenes sometimes, but it's the people here, I think, make the difference. You know, they're kind of relentlessly welcoming and kind presence, and I think that's a good thing when people come visit and they can see that, and I certainly have felt very welcomed here, and I've joined the choir and the Tiny Bell Choir, and perhaps someday I'll participate a little bit more in the liturgies, and I'm looking forward to that.